Hey, I'm Jen Thone with YourColorStyle.com, and welcome to another episode of Your Color Style. This is where you get to ask me questions and I get to answer them in another video. The question I'm going to answer in this video has to do with age-appropriate clothing and really feeling frumpy and how to kind of overcome that. I'm summarizing because I get this question in many different forms, and I thought I would address it today in this video. So let's talk about first the combination of people using the word age appropriate and the word frumpy all in the same sentence. I always find this a little interesting. First of all, I don't think it has to do with age. I think it has to do with you changing. You can feel frumpy at any age, right? I had 3 kids. My body is absolutely not the same as it was when I was 20. And as I get older, I'm putting on weight in different areas, which is not fun, to be honest with you, but it does make you feel like you don't have control anymore over what's happening to your body. So we get older, lumps and rolls start to show up in places. Even if we are active and we exercise regularly, our bodies are still changing. Our coloring is changing. And things that looked great on us when we were 20 don't feel right now as we're going into 40 and 50 and 60. And this is something that people go through in any stage of their life. And it's usually when, in our heads, when we think of what we look like, we tend to think of ourselves looking differently than we really do. And so when we go shopping and we buy something that used to look really great on us 10 years ago, and then we put it on and it doesn't, it can just really deflate you, because then you start to think, well, then what in the world do I wear if that doesn't look good on me anymore? And you kind of just feel a little lost. You feel like this body does not go with what's going on in your head. And how do you get back to feeling like yourself again? Knowing that you're not going to be 20 years younger. How do you embrace that and move forward? And I think this has everything to do when people say, well, I need you to show me more age-appropriate clothing. Well, what age? What do you mean by age-appropriate? There aren't clothes that are specifically made for someone who's 70 or someone who's 60 or 50 or 40 and so on. I mean, yeah, you go into the mall, there's going to be a lot of clothes that cater to the 20-somethings and the teens, because that's where a lot of that money is, right? They're changing and it's very trendy, and so there's a lot of options out there for people who want to wear that kind of stuff. As we get older, we don't have as much interest in those kind of clothes, and so we are looking now for something that's more, and I'll air quote now, age appropriate, something that's a little bit less trendy and just a little bit more classic and timeless, and makes you feel a little bit more normal. You don't want to look like you're trying to be 20, right? I mean, I think that's where we start to get that word age appropriate. But I also think that there's a little bit more to it than that. I don't believe that it has to do with the age. I think it has to do with that change in our body and how we look. I think that has a lot to do with it, because quite frankly, if I had the same body that I had when I was 20 or 18 or 16, I would be wearing clothes that completely showed me off all the time, because I would be appreciating how thin and fit and young and firm I was, right? But I'm not that person anymore. I'm simply not. And so those clothes that I could wear don't feel right on me anymore. I'm a little heavier. I have a different body type now. Everything's just a little bit different. But if you knew how to dress your body type, if you knew that, okay, I'm not going to wear slim-fitting, skinny dresses anymore because it makes my stomach look huge and my butt look really, really big, and I just don't like that way that looks. Well, what if you knew what types of dresses would work with your current body type? And when you put that on, everything starts to look a little bit better. And maybe at first, it's not exactly what you would have picked out at first, but you put it on and now those clothes fit your body type so much better. The idea of age appropriate should go out the window. Because here's the thing, the age, the number, it's just a number. There are people who are 70 that look 50. And there are people that are 40 that look 50, so it's just a number, and it's how you think of yourself and to stop worrying so much about age appropriate and instead finding clothes that fit your body type and that you like. I have seen women that can totally pull off what you might think as a younger outfit, but because of their body type and they dress themselves just right, they look great. And I don't think there should be any limit on what you can wear based on your age. Because quite frankly, if you want to wear a t-shirt that has Minnie Mouse on it, you totally should. By the way, I love Minnie Mouse, and you totally should wear a t-shirt with Minnie Mouse on it. My point is that don't get stuck up on the age appropriate thing. Just the other day, Joe was out in the parking lot and he was walking back to his car from eating, I think he was eating lunch or something like that. And he has a black Mustang 50-year edition. He got it from when he turned 50. And this woman had approached him in the parking lot. And when he first saw her, he was going to guess her to be about 60, something like that. And she was really cute. And she asked, how long has he had that car? And she wanted to know more about the Mustang. And so they chatted for a little bit. And so Joe says, well, I really love it because it's the 50-year edition and I got it for my 50th birthday. So it was a gift for myself. And she says, wow, perfect. I'm turning 70 and I would love to have a car like that. And so Joe inside was thinking, wow, I never would have placed 70. Now, if you really looked at her, maybe you would have guessed that, but it wasn't that. It was her attitude and her vibrancy and the fact that she wants to drive a Mustang. And so as they're talking through it, she's like, well, what kind of trunk space do you have? And he says, oh, well, actually a lot more than my last car. And she's like, well, will it fit golf clubs? And he's laughed. He goes, yeah, you could probably fit like 3 sets of golf clubs in there. And she's like, great, thanks so much. And she, hops off to go do whatever she's going to do that day. And he got the biggest kick out of that. And he shared it with me because, number one, he knows that I'm always looking for stories to share with you. And also that he just loved that there's something about this woman that he just adored. And I think it's because when we're 70, I want to be like that. I want to be wanting to drive a Mustang and, and playing golf and making sure that my car fits my golf clubs. That means she's active, she's doing things she enjoys, and she's fun. And those are things that are timeless. So yeah, maybe your body can't do everything it can do, and maybe you're not going to look like you're 20 anymore. Embrace who you are right now. Enjoy that time of your life. And if you're feeling frumpy, that's a state of mind. I would bet you that other people who saw you wouldn't think that. But if you think that, that's what's most important. And the best way to kind of overcome that and to start to transition into a place that you are happy about yourself, then start to learn what clothing works best with your body type. Start going through that audit and editing out your wardrobe, all the things that you've been holding on to but do nothing for you. It's time to get rid of all that stuff. So if you're wondering how, okay, that sounds great, Jen. How do you do that? Okay, well, I have a lot of information out there. The Color Style Club is a great place and a great resource for you to get started. You can also get started with the How to Create a Capsule Wardrobe course. It's actually an excellent course that walks you through step-by-step how to edit your wardrobe. And also inside the Color Style Club, there is a course on how to dress your body type. And the two together, you can probably get started. I always tell people that if you're feeling overwhelmed because you've got all these clothes and you have no idea how to narrow this down so you can start to identify your own personal style and personality, is to start getting rid of all the things that don't work. Narrow it down, and you may not have much left, but then now you can free up the space, the room, and the energy to start focusing on what you really want to look like, what you really want to wear, and the person that you're going to be. I hope this was helpful. I'm Jen Thoden. If you like this content, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you're listening to this out on the podcast, subscribe and come on over to YouTube as well so that you can watch some of the videos. So thanks for watching.